This is just a math review lesson to do some math boxes since we don't do those very often. So what you will need today is your math journal. Begin by opening to page 211 in your math journal. Page 211. We're going to shade in 2/3 times 5/6. So here's our 5/6. Here's our 2/3. You're going to shade in 2/3 times 5/6. What is 2/3 times 5/6? We'll go ahead and multiply straight across. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 6 is 18. If you wanted to simplify that, that means we could make that a fraction that is equivalent. I could divide, and go ahead and write this down. They have a common factor of 2. So if I were going to simplify this, I could divide a 2 out of the numerator and a 2 out of the denominator, and 5/9 would be an equivalent fraction. When we divide by a fraction, it's the same thing as multiplying by what's called its reciprocal, which means we flip that around. Then we can go ahead and multiply. 6 times 3 is 18. Over 1 is the same thing as 18. Number 3, write the following numbers in order from greatest to least. First thing I'm going to do is look at the ones place. Well, I have 2 of them that begin with a 3. So those would be greater than the ones beginning with 0. So then I go to the next place value, the tenths, 0 and 3. Which one is larger? This one right here. 3 and 38 hundredths. Cross that one off. Then the only other one that began with 3 in the ones place is 3 and 8 hundredths. Which would be the next greatest? Looking for greatest. 3, 3, 0. But we can ignore this one for now. Let's go to the next place. 8 or 0, which is larger? 8 is. So that would leave 308 thousandths followed by 38 thousandths. Number 4, fill in the blank less than, greater than, or equal to. So remember, if we are multiplying by something less than 1, the number is going to get smaller. If we multiply by something greater than 1, for example, an improper fraction or a mixed number, the answer is going to get larger. Okay, so given that, 15 times 2/3. Well, 2/3 is less than 1 whole, so our answer is going to end up being less than 15. 15 times 12/6. Well, 12/6 is the same thing as 2. It's an improper fraction, so that answer is going to end up being greater than 15. And 18/18 is the same as 1 whole, and anytime you multiply a number by 1, you end up with the same number. So that one would be equal to. All right, let's move to the next set of math boxes on page 213. Page 213. Make sure you're doing this with me, as you will be taking a picture and uploading it. Number 1, Emmy bought a book on sale for $12.50. The regular price of the book was $16.99. How much money did she save? So we're trying to figure out difference. So let's line up our decimals carefully. Bring that decimal point straight down and go ahead and subtract. 9 minus 0 is 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. 6 minus 2 is 4. So the answer is $4.49. What is 11/15 of just means to multiply, 75. Well, let's go ahead and multiply. What is 11 times 75? One times 5 is 5. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 7 is 7. It's 825 15ths, which that fraction symbol just means to divide. So with me, let's figure out how many 15s. I'm going to give myself a little bit more room. How many 15s are there in 825? I'm going to do partial products. So are there at least 10 15s in 825? Yeah, in fact, I'm going to start with 20. So would you write 20 here? In other words, double 15. 15 plus 15 is 30 with 1 0 behind it. So go ahead and subtract 300. Can we do that 20 more times? Absolutely. I'm going to write a little bit smaller. I'm going to run out of room. Can I do that 20 more times? No, I can't. So now I can do 10 times. Ten times is 150. And if I count up, it goes in there 5 more times because 15 times 5 is 75. So add up all of those. 20 plus 20 plus 10 plus 5 is 55. Multi-step problem. Again, remember, if you need additional time, stop your video. You can rewind it. You can pause it. That is your responsibility to make sure that you don't, it doesn't move along too quickly. Number 3, Orly had 3/4 gallon of paint. She spilled half the paint on the floor. How much paint did she spill? She had 3/4. Times a half. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. The answer is she spilled 3/8 of the gallon. Number 4, we're going to solve, but the first thing that I notice is that 2/3 and 5/6 do not have the same denominator. So I'm going to change 2/3 so that it has a denominator 6. 3 times what gives me 6? Times 2. So if I multiply the denominator times 2, I have to multiply the numerator times 2. So 4/6 is the same as 2/3. Now they have the same denominator. So 6 stays the same, and I just subtract the numerators. 5 minus 4 is 1. Next, 1 and 3/8, which is a mixed number, minus 3/4. I'm going to change 3/4 so it has a denominator of 8. 4 times 2 is 8, so if I multiply the bottom by 2, I have to multiply the top by 2. So 6/8 is the same as 3/4. But here's what we cannot do. We cannot take 6/8 minus 3/8 minus 6/8. So in your blank space, would you please write the problem vertically? Show your work with me. I cannot take 6/8 minus 3/8. I'm going to borrow from the 1. I'm going to make that fraction equal to 1 whole. I want to keep 8 as my denominator, so I'm going to make 8/8. which equals the one that I borrowed from over here. Add that to what's already there. 3/8 plus 8/8 is 11/8. Now I can subtract. 8 stays the same. 11 minus 6 is 5/8. Number 5, write 471 32/100 in expanded form and then in words. So I can do 4 times 100 plus, don't forget your plus sign in between, 7 times 10 plus 1 times 1, because it's in the ones place, plus 3 times 1/10 plus 2 times 1/100th. And in words, it's 471 and 32/100ths. Don't forget that THS on the end. Number 6, we're multiplying by powers of 10. So this decimal point is moving 1 place to the right, 5 places to the right, 2 places to the right, 3 places to the right. So here we go. 8 and 4/10 times 10 to the first just moves it 1 place to the right. 84. 84/100 times 10 to the 5th power, move it 5 places to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to add in 3 zeros. So the answer is 84,000. 6C, 84 times 10 to the second. Right now it's like saying 84 and 0/10. So I move it 1, 2 places. 8,400. And 10 to the third, we move it 1 place, 2, and 3. I have to add 2 zeros. 8,400. All right, good review. Make sure you take a picture of those 2 pages, and I should see more than just answers only.